All right. Construction. Construction is on the way. Holy crap! Listen to this.
Sitting in the shoe shine stand with a nice pinstripe suit with a blonde-haired woman buffing his shoes. Now you tell me there hasn't been a change that's taken place in America. And you condemn me to hell all you want because I care about my people. But I tell you, God said if you'll be faithful to me, you'll go higher and higher above all the nations. And if you won't, you just see what I'll do.
If you'd like this or any other broadcast from...
This guy called people Orientals and the Jew something or others that are controlling everything and keeping the Christians down. Holy crap! Wow, that was the first for me. That was the first hearing something like that on shortwave, but I'm sure it exists everywhere. I'm just not on there very much. I realized that a fairly big thing happened on the world of YouTube that probably a lot of my viewers aren't involved in, but you're all familiar with the concept of react videos, and you're probably familiar with the Fine Brothers. They recently posted a video talking about how they wanted to create a new network, if you will, of people that can come together to make react videos. And they made this very light and airy video about togetherness and changing the way that we do things on YouTube, particularly in the area of react videos. What they didn't so much mention in their 3-minute or so video is that they were going to do that because they trademarked the word react, or attempted to trademark the word react, and other words along those lines. I'm gonna weigh in on what I feel about this, so let me take a seat and grab a beer. How's that? That's a bit better. So there are quite a few issues with what the Fine Brothers did, particularly in the minds of people who are complaining about watching their video, knowing how things work on YouTube, and saying, hey, what the hell, guys? Number one.
Part of why we believe this initiative is important is due to witnessing many creators, ourselves included, having their shows and formats blatantly stolen by companies and people, both online and on television.
How do you try and trademark a react video? React videos have been around before the Fine Brothers ever got involved, and just because they're the largest and biggest doesn't mean that they can come in and say, well, now we own it. Doing so is not really fair, and it kind of encapsulates some of the issues with trademark and copyright law. Things are sometimes, particularly in a rich creative environment, apt to be stepped on with the power of law, government, etc. And this is no separation of that. They saw an opportunity to take their foothold, which they do have, and extend that into a larger business where they get almost franchisee / ad money that they didn't really earn. Yes, they make good videos. Yes, they make reaction videos. But no, that doesn't mean that they get to put their hands in everybody else's pockets when they make a react video. 2.
And it's because of all your support that we're now announcing this big thing that will bring us closer than ever before by creating a new way for us to create content together.
We're excited to announce React World, which is a first-of-its-kind program that allows people and companies to license all our popular shows online. Global community.
So if you're interested in creating your own version of any of our React formats, which if you don't, then what is wrong with you?
The video they made was completely disingenuous. They came off as though they had this togetherness approach and that they wanted everybody to be friends and be loving. And well, if that's the case, you can do that without making a trademark request. You can create a service that people can come and join, and you can provide them services like a certain template or a platform at which to build a reaction video, and then you can charge them something like some nominal fee. The reality is they wanted 50% right off the top, and then 60% of ad revenue that came out of every video that was made. That's insane. So basically what they're doing, regardless of what options or services they provided, they were taking out way more money than they actually deserved. That's not fair to capitalism. That's not fair to a free market. You can't just use the power of law or government to make people pay or to extort money out of people for something that you're not really providing a service for. So just because you were to provide a template but then turn around and ask for 50% or 60% of ad revenue, the value of what you're providing to those people really isn't worth what they're they're giving up. So think about it. Just because I want to make reaction videos and I don't want to use the template of the Fine Brothers, that doesn't mean that they get to put their hands in my pocket and take 50% of my earning, right? Makes sense. 3, and this is my rant, this is my problem with the video that they made and the attempts they're doing. This is how cronyism in politics and the government and law start. This is a perfect example of that. And you might be saying to yourself, well, you know, they don't know anybody in the government, etc., etc. That's not the point, and actually that's not how cronyism really works. Sure, we all like to think that there's a politician who has a cousin that they give a contract to and that it's exclusive just to that cousin and no one else can compete. That is an example, but the reality of time, people just using their gravitas or their weight or their popularity in a certain area to use the law to benefit them at the disadvantage of the less popular and the minority, that is cronyism. Take this trademark, for example. A reaction video, filming someone reacting to life, being exposed to something that is outside of their worldview and reacting, is not really something that you can claim ownership to. You shouldn't be able to claim ownership to that, because that's like claiming ownership to a laughter or a joke or a kiss or a hug. It's a concept of human reality now. We react to things. We are human beings. We do that. The idea that someone can come in and attempt to copyright or trademark something and prevent people from using that same thing, like a react video, is a misuse of government power. It's a misuse of taxpayer money in policing and forcing people to pay extortion money to this guy or woman who was savvy enough to try and trademark this thing. Everybody does reaction videos, whether or not they know it. Well, every time you pick up your phone and you take a candid shot of someone and it's either hilarious or not funny at all, it doesn't matter. You made a reaction video. If you turn around and then post that online, you're technically violating a trademark that the Fine Brothers tried to enforce on you. That's not fair. That's not cool. And we shouldn't, we human beings, we Americans, we whoever in other countries, we shouldn't be thinking that we should use the legal system to enforce these kind of things. We should be appreciating human beings going out and constantly evolving and making better and fresher and newer content, instead of trying to take the things that we do and really just force everybody under this draconian idea of paying one person because they were the first ones to fill out a form and send it into the government. That's not really fair, is it? I think everybody agrees that's not really fair. Anyway, that's my rant. Alright guys, that'll just about do it for today. I got my beer here that I'm taking home from my buddy Darren. He asked for it, so coming home to you, buddy. Anyway, question of the day. What do you think about my rant? Do you think that trademarks are something that we generally need in society? Or is the lack of trademarks good because it's incentivizing people to keep up on their game and keep pushing that envelope? Now, I think you can make a larger point that patents could be separate of copyright / trademark. But I'll leave that up for you to decide, and let me know in the comments below. Thanks a lot. See ya.